YouTube viewers and subscribers, welcome.
The phrase, "We are the children of those who refuse to die," is a poignant reminder of the resilience and strength of those who overcame the horrors of slavery. It is inscribed on a plaque at Cape Coast Castle, a site that has been a symbol of the dark history of the transatlantic slave trade. The castle, once known as the Gold Coast Castle, served as a prison and embarkation point for enslaved Africans, and the door of no return was the final destination for many who were forced to leave their homes. The inscription serves as a call to remember the sacrifices made by those who fought for freedom and the enduring spirit of the African people.
We start the tour here. This is the cell. But I am Matilda, show you around as your guide for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay, thanks.
So basically, there are 3 castles. The first one was built by Portuguese. Portuguese came to the show around 1471 and 1482. They built St. George, also known as Elmina Castle, under the leadership of Don Diego de Azambuja. The second one was built by Danish. Christianborg Castle, 1661. And this is the third by British, 1664. So the smallest castle, Cape Coast, it is now 361 years. But the structure was built in stages. With Portuguese, whatever they find in a place, they name the place as such. So they name our country Gold Coast because of abundance of gold. Ivory Coast. So they were in Elmina doing the gold business, ivory and spices. But later they were looking for a land to expand because they were making more profit out of the gold business. So they came here to build a trading lodge around 1555. By 1637, they were defeated by the Dutch. So they just abandoned the lodge. 12 years later, Swedish built a fort at the same place. They named the fort Fort Karlsberg. It was around 1653, but the fort changed hands from the Danes, the Dutch, to British. For addition, demolition, reconstruction, this was built over a period of 300 years. Africans were never lazy. They used Africans as laborers for this edifice, where materials such as bent bricks, marble stones, oyster shells, lime powder, and many others were used, but no cement, no iron rod. So cement work, as you see going around, iron rod, they are all recent development. Now this very castle built purposely for triangular trade, also known as transatlantic slave trade. So the discussion, it will be based on that. But long before Europeans came, the system that we had, we call it indigenous slavery. It is very difficult for you to refer to them as slaves, in that they have their right to live a good life, such as marry those who were not slaves, whether a male or female. When you have that opportunity, you cease to be a slave and goes with royalties. But with the trans, it wasn't like that. They used several methods in acquiring them. Some were brought here by raiders and kidnappers. Some were seen as wrongdoers. Some were debtors. Others did not commit any crime. There was no Ghana, no Togo. But later, we had demarcations. So it was Kingdom, Empire States, and present-day Togo, Nigeria, Benin, Ghana, all the West African countries. The biggest slave market at the time, Salaga in the north. Yendi is also in the north. But our people, they walk from there to Kumasi, Asanamanson. That is where they stop because they lost energy. After having bath there, they have something to eat to regain the lost energy. And from there, they were chained in groups. They walked to this edifice. When they arrived, there's a place here called Palaver Hall. The word palaver is a Portuguese word which means to talk or to bargain. So they look at the fitness, the age. It wasn't money. It was guns, gunpowder, spices, knives, and other European commodities. That you see here, 400 years of first enslaved ship that arrived in Virginia. This is the year of return, 2019.
Okay.
And it is titled like this: "We are the children of those who refused to die. Life wasn't easy, as you are aware. People suffered. Some died, some survived. So a descendant of those that survived, some of them, you see their names over here. So these names, as you see here, it is not those who died in this very cell, but they are the descendants that survived in the New World. Original toilets is this. So this is as old as a castle. And this is a wood, but it was coated with metal, with crossbar like this. Now this, it wasn't an ordinary seal. It was a death seal for men, yes, fighting for their right. To them, all the slaves were commodity, their property. That is why you don't have any right to question them. So those that were fighting for their rights, asking questions, this and that, this is where nobody survived. Now watch your head and let's go in there. Watch your head. Watch your head. So I off the lights like this for you to have a feel. So this is the death cell. And it is the most serious of all, because sadly this is where nobody survived. It is a place that no food, no water, no lights, no ventilation. If you are disturbing them, if you are challenging them, they will not waste their bullets on you. But remain here, you suffer, you die. They want to suppress men. They want to put fear in them. So when you die, they call those from the dungeons to come and see. Carry the bodies one by one into the ocean. So it means that as you are going back to your dungeon, you go there with the down spirit and you share message with those in the dungeons. Not more than 72 hours, you will die. Because the first original door was here locked, later it was removed. The second door here locked, later removed, and that as only one original door left. So with this condemned cell, all that we can say, may their souls rest in perfect peace.
Thanks, I agree. Rest in peace.
Alright, so you can just go there if you want to take pictures, just be in the darkness. And as you are doing this, imagine how the place was. Now that the two doors are not there, look at the place. Imagine then that the three doors were here. And this is the most dangerous, as I said. You don't see your brother, you don't see your father. Wasting bullets, they will not do that, but they want you to suffer before you die. So may their souls rest in perfect peace.
Rest in peace.
Yes. So it is the words that can explain further about the brutalities or whatever they went through.
Rest in peace.
Yes. Then on the right. For easy identification, branded irons were placed in the fire. A very hot metal, they will pick, they rub oil, it can be any part of the body, and they will stamp you with that. And from the market palaver hall, they move them into the dungeons. So the male dungeon is over there, the female dungeon down here, and those that were fighting for their rights, the men, were condemned. So this was condemned cell. The cemetery at the time. We walk on top of the underground tunnel. We see the opening part that way. We walk down to the female dungeon, the female cell, and the door of no return. Cape Coast as the first capital before Accra, 1877. So offices, governors' residence, they are all there. Officially, this was open to public way back 1974. It was listed by UNESCO in 1979. It is now a World Heritage Site.
Okay.
A living monument, a nice structure with a very sad story.
Yes.
This is a water system or the tank. It is 18 feet deep, where they harvested rainwater. Pipes were channeled all over the small openings into this source of water for the enslaved Africans, the soldiers. The systems were full, 2 here and 2 there. And now it is no more rainwater, it is pipe-borne water through this, as you see there. But we still use it when there's no water, the washroom.
Okay. Okay.
This is the cemetery at the time.
This space?
The whole space was a cemetery. It was not a cemetery for the enslaved Africans. This was British cemetery and those that they trained. For the British that were here, because of malaria, yellow fever, and other tropical diseases, some died and they were buried here.
Okay.
There were several graves, but 1996 was the second excavation here. So currently, only 4 identified graves.
Okay.
The 3 here, they are European graves.
Okay.
The one separate one is an African from Cape Coast and unidentified grave closer to the Ghanaian.
Okay.
All right, let's come here. The very first grave, Captain George McLean. George McLean, a Scottish, born in 1801. He was the president of the British Committee of Merchants from 1830. 1843, McLean was appointed as a judicial assessor and he established the first court over there. We are colonized for 113 years, but before then a bond was signed that paved way for that, called the Bond of 1844, 6 March. It was designed by the same person, McLean, but signed by Commander Hill and 8 local chiefs. McLean died 1847, 46 years. It was confirmed malaria parasite.
Okay.
The wife came down to visit the husband. 3 months after the arrival, she died.
Okay.
Letitia Elizabeth London. 3 schools of thought about her death. Some says it was malaria. That's the first school of thought. The second one, it was jealousy, because husband McLean was having an affair with a black lady, Helen Bannerman.
Yeah, with a
and
slave.
out of that, she
Yeah.
committed suicide. Letitia, the wife, but Helen wasn't a slave.
Okay.
He was a daughter of one of the governors.
Okay.
So he became the girlfriend of McLean, and because of that, the wife committed suicide. She died in one of the rooms there. The last one says could be the husband and the girlfriend. They connived to kill the wife for them to continue with their relationship. 36 years, Letitia died. The last person there as army commander, a lawyer by profession, C.B. Whitehead, born in 1774, and 2nd July 1812, the soldier died. The rest of the soldiers, they were behind this block. Cape Coast as the first capital before Accra, as I said over there. So offices here, governor's residence.
Yes.
As we continue the tour there, we'll look at the space, the rooms for one person. The very last grave on this side, a Ghanaian, but there were 3 boys that were baptized by British. Ironically, this down here is a male dungeon. Above the dungeon was the church. So the church, as they came here initially, it wasn't for the slaves. It wasn't for the people of Africa. They were the ones attending the church. They were the ones doing their business. So they see this way, business aside and religion aside. But it got to a point that Islamic was spreading fast, where they also decided to go out to do same. But because of their challenges, as I mentioned some there, they couldn't go out to do that. Decided to go with African boys, where they baptized 3 boys. They named them Thomas, Philip, and William.
Okay.
The boys were sent to England for training, but as they went to England, William and Thomas died.
Okay.
The last person that survived was Philip.
Okay.
And Philip was born on Wednesday. So if you are a Ghanaian born on Wednesday, they call you Kweku.
Yeah.
But British couldn't pronounce the name Kweku, which starts with K.
Okay.
But they corrupted the name to K as Kweku. So
Okay.
it's now pronounced as Philip Kweku. So he is the native of Cape Coast,
Okay.
the son of one of the local merchants of Brimpong Kojo. So they were able to convince the father, want to train your boys, want to do this with your boys. But this person became the first African priest of
Okay.
the Anglican Church.
Oh.
The name of the church was XPG, and later they renamed it Anglican Church. So under the ordinance of Reverend Thomas Thompson, he became the first African priest. He was also the headmaster of Cape Coast Castle School. Philip was born in 1741, where he returned home around 1765. Worked here for 50 years before he died 1816, 17th October. Every 17th October, the schools, the churches that are named after Philip Kweku, they pay homage to Reverend Philip Kweku. So
Okay.
this was one time the church. It was also a classroom. Their offspring were taught how to read and write. But later, they converted the same place as children's library. So it is now library.
This is Sapphire Astor Productions, where every story becomes a visual experience. Sapphire Astor Productions, producing engaging content for the world. Like, follow, and subscribe.
Obamas were here. It was an official visit.
Oh, President Barack Obama. Right.
Exactly.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
It was an official visit to the late President Mills. And thereafter to Cape Coast Castle, Michelle Obama from here. And on that such dates, they came here, they went around as we are doing. It was an official visit because Obama from Kenya, Michelle from here, where she traced the ancestral route down to this place. So it was 11 July 2009. There is another plaque here which is very emotional, very close. So this is 1992. The first Pan-African Historical Theatre Festival, PANAFest, in everlasting memory of the anguish of our ancestors. May those who died rest in peace. May those who return find their root. May humanity never again perpetrate such injustice against humanity. We, the living, we vow to uphold this. So this is a message that on behalf of the ancestors, the middlemen, whatever we have here is to show their remorse, whatever happened then.
Okay.
And it is also a lesson
Okay.
to us, not the people of Africa that suffered same, but this one, the message here is to all races of the world.
Okay,
So
okay.
this is the message. A magazine as where they kept ammunitions. So all the cannonballs, mortar balls were retrieved from this magazine.
Okay. Okay.
So we enter the male dungeon this way with 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we step down carefully like this. Step down carefully. Be mindful of the floor. Be mindful of the floor.
Okay.
So we are entering the dark underground prison.
You walked again. You said the
This is the dungeon.
Dungeon.
The male side.
Okay.
So sadly, this is where the enslaved Africans brothers were killed.
Or killed. Okay.
Yes. They were packed here. It was human trafficking. And they need to wait here for a while. It was 2 to 3 months before the ship will arrive and take them away. And this is total darkness at the time. I am saying that because no light. So let's try to walk down there and go off the lights for us to have a feel. So the reason why they were grounded is that individuals and agencies were buying them. They were buying them to work in rice, sugarcane, tobacco plantations, and also work in mining areas. It was the Native Americans, also known as Red Indians. They were the ones working in those plantation mining areas. At the point that they were dying, they relied on the Africans. According to one of their kind, by name Bartholomew de las Cascas, suggested that for these Africans, looking at them, they are strong. Because of the indigenous slavery to them, we had a system like that before they came. So he suggested that use these Africans to work. And this dungeon, as you see, it was designed for 1,000 enslaved Africans. The dungeon served as where they defecated. This is where they urinated. They want them alive. They were fed twice a day. Because of the smell, some vomited as they were here. So the life wasn't good. It was pains, it was this and that. And I can be here to explain. Maybe you have literatures about slave trade at home. You have watched movies about it. But it is only the walls of this corners, the place, that can explain further about the brutalities, the torture, the pains that the people went through. And for us, the living, it is never again. So we on the lights like this, and let's enter the first dungeon. So as we are entering, the floor here, it was also covered with sweat, saliva, vomit. But 1974, the place was excavated. What they did was, archaeologists, they were students. They took a sample of the floor, the sample like the black thing on the floor. They tested it, and they came back with the findings as sweat, saliva, feces, and what have you. These were the source of light and ventilation. It was also for rainwater. It means that any time it rains, depends upon the direction. Rainwater from this side down here to wash the feces, everything enters the sea at the fifth chamber, where the people were still inside. So surprisingly, as the trading went on, when they were not receiving much rain, whatever I mentioned and even more, whatever came out from that test that they conducted, revealed that this that you see here, it wasn't the ordinary marks that you see. We call it excavation mark. So from here to here, this is the level of all the accumulated waste.
Oh, accumulated waste up to that point?
Exactly. And they were still inside, waiting for the ship.
Okay.
So when the place was excavated, they did not destroy the waste outside, but they dig a hole here. So there's a very big hole on this side. This is where they buried whatever was excavated from the first dungeon. Top of their sweat, saliva, everything that was excavated, we have it on this side. So that is why, as we were entering, I made mention that this is currently or now the original floor, whilst the rest, it is not the original floor. So this is solidified and also mixed with feces, vomit, and what have you. We are walking through the sweat, saliva, and vomit, and the church, as I mentioned, outside about the dungeon, and to keep eye on the people. This was a peephole. and hold that when the enslaved Africans are here, for instance, crying and screaming, officer entering the church or around the hall will not see, but he hear because of the echo.
Yeah.
And with outside to fight their enemies, they mounted these ammunitions, cannons and cannonballs outside. So let's move on. This is the third dungeon. The whole 5 sections was for 1,000.
1,000.
So a section for 200.
Okay.
Which is estimated that with that 1,000, about 1/3 died.
Okay.
Before the ship comes. Either those ones were sick and they died, either through infection because of the mark.
Yeah.
They died.
Yeah.
So it tells you that it wasn't easy, the people suffered. And here we see this as the original opening. They made it like this so that if you want to run away, you are brave. You cannot escape through that. So we are so fortunate that that era slave trade is no more. That is why as we are here, we are not in chains. As we are here, we have some light, but it wasn't like that then. So chained together, walk through thick forest. Because of the chains, when they were coming along to the coast, some were attacked by wild animals, but they couldn't run away because of the chains, where they were eaten up by those wild animals. So it tells you that in there, some died in the dungeons. The same thing also happened that some did not survive at all.
Okay.
Now moving on, we are at the last dungeon.
Okay.
And this is also a spirit, a deity. Africans believe in supreme being. Some represent that as mountains, as rock, as trees and whatever. So this is a rock. The spirit was here when the castle was not built.
Okay.
Just like Native Americans were working in their plantations, there were natives, a small community, about 15, 20 houses were there. So those ones have access to come and worship here. But when British were developing the fort, they were not having any chance to come around where the leaders perform rituals. They removed everything from here. When the slave trade was over, because you still believe in your tradition, because you still want your spirit back, they performed rituals and they brought it back.
Okay.
So this is the god of the land, Nana Tabiru. That is the name as you see there, or the spirit as you see on the side. Now waiting for so long in the dungeons, it was 2 to 3 months in the dungeon, defecating here, urinating here, and what have you. So when the ship arrived, they will do the re-examination. If they look at you, you are not strong enough to travel, you wait for the next ship here. If you are strong, you move to the side, where the strong ones were chained together. What you see there is a chain, but this is not the original chain. It is a replica chain.
Okay,
But
replica.
the people were chained in groups. It was 5, 10, sometimes 15. But they walked through a tunnel. So coming into the dungeon, you use the main entrance. Going out of the dungeon, they used a tunnel where the entrance was here. So this was the entrance where the people were led.
The spot.
Not this, but this part
Okay,
was
yeah,
very
yeah.
small. So they were led, they came out at a distance to join the mothers and sisters and to the door of no return. Because at the time they lacked machines. No machines wasn't there at all. And also labor was a problem because the natives were dying. Around 1807, they have machines to work. They have more of African people, African youth working, where around 1807, legally, slave trade was abolished in Great Britain. Illegally, it was still going on, but others followed suit in subsequent years. But this was sealed in 1834. So indigenous slavery was abolished 1833 and 1834. This was sealed when George McLean was here. So it was sealed to signify the end of slave trade and slavery.
Okay.
So as we cannot walk through, but as we continue the tour outside, we'll have the privilege to look at the opening part of the tunnel over there.
Okay, great.
So these are wreaths. Most of them from the sisters and brothers in diaspora. They are all here to pay homage to our people. So because there's no restrictions, next time you decide to come with the family, you can also come with a wreath and lay on behalf of our people that died suffered during slave trade era.
Yes, yes.
So we are done with the male dungeon. So we continue the tour outside, and then we allow the group to come here.
Okay, okay.
So the church, which was once a classroom, now converted as children's library. This is right on top of the male dungeon, and I talked about this in the dungeon. So this is the people. So you agree that whatever I said that was true. There's a group you hear, but you don't see. The same thing applies then. When they are crying, shouting, whatever, you will not see, but you hear because of the people in front of the church.
Yeah, yeah.
That I mentioned, they have so many to protect themselves and the interest of the trading. As you look at that side way there, have you seen it?
No.
Come here, please. There's a fort way there in the hill.
Oh, yes, yeah, I've seen it.
This is the watchtower. They stay with soldiers there. So a soldier, they'll be meeting over there to watch. So that time there is a attack from everywhere. Send them the light, the flag, and reflection in the mirror. So watchtower for Victoria and communication room here, where they go inside and have a place, where they receive the signals. So on this side, you don't talk, you don't use any telephone, but you are here to get a signal from the fort. It tells you that this place was well protected, it was well defended. The natural rock, the beauty of the nature. This is what they build the castle on.
Those blocks, those rocks?
Yes, the rocks, this one, the brown one, is what they build the castle on.
Oh, okay.
It is solid.
Okay.
And the rest, as you see there, the ones that are not brown, it is sea defense, man-made.
Oh, man.
In most of the coastal belt.
That defense was there back in those years,
No,
or
this
this
is
is
just
recent?
about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because this day, because of the global warming, the sun beating and what have you, the waves are becoming high.
Yeah,
so
coming
this
further
is the
in, yeah.
defense
Yeah.
that they have done to prevent the sea from entering here and the fishing village around.
Okay.
So with British, they painted this place white always to withstand the salt that will come out of the sea. And as I said earlier, no cement, no iron rod.
Yes.
So a work like this, as you see, they are recent development.
Okay.
Yes, we do what is called maintenance, but we don't build, we don't add up to the structure. Right, so let's continue. We restore. The breaking one, the pieces, the short one, this and that. So here we have this as a sentry post. The enslaved Africans outnumbered the soldiers. So you need to always be on guard, protect yourself. So they will station a guard here fully armed to protect and defend the governor from any attack. So we go up there, let's see the governor's bedroom and the hall. Area, a commodity will be suffering, whilst the master will be here, enjoying, dancing, eating at the reception. And if someone elsewhere wants to see the governor, the guest, this is your office or your waiting room before you call, and the governor will come down to see you. Was mounted all round in case of any attack. They were mounted all round in case of attack, where the cannonballs were packed into the cannon on the side, a small opening here for gunpowder. You lit match at the same place, which will drive the balls over a kilometer to destroy the ship.
Okay.
It was movable at the time, but as you see this stem, they are here. And all these, they are all cannons and cannonballs. The first watchtower is over there on the hill. So this is Fort William. It was also the lighthouse. Soldiers were stationed there as well to send the same signals. Flag, flashlight, reflection of the mirror. The area that we have that for, we call it Chapel Square. The early churches, talk of the Catholic Church, Anglican, all of them started right in the castles. Either is above the dungeon or a cell. So this is the Anglican Church, the Catholic Church, and the Methodist Church. So Chapel Square. So the communication room, another one is over here. This is to the fort, as I talked about. So a guide will be here. You watch carefully to get a signal from the fort. Governor's bedroom and the hall. So let's climb up there. And the museum, we are here to compare. We can count the windows on the side. This is for one person.
Yeah, there's luxury in that.
Yes,
there.
it is spacious. It is airy, nice view. Where you cannot compare this place to the dungeon. The bedroom is over there. So your living room as a governor, your bedroom as a governor. And because of the challenges, they decided that if I am appointed to go to Africa, if I am married, I will not go there with my wife. If I have children, I will not go there with them. I will go alone. So that if I die, the rest of my family will be there.
Yeah.
So they came here alone, where they took advantage of our mothers. The governor wants to enjoy sex. The governor will select a beautiful lady from the dungeon. And this is where the governor will enjoy. And woe betides you that you are selected, and as a beautiful lady, you just say no. They will beat you mercilessly for others to see and learn a lesson from whatever you went through. So you can also count the windows as well. It is spacious, airy, where we cannot compare the two to the dungeons. So coming or going out from the governor's bedroom, there is governor's wardrobe here.
Governess?
Wardrobe.
Okay.
This is the wardrobe.
A wardrobe.
So your
Okay.
living room, your bedroom, and coming out, this is your wardrobe. Because you have servants to serve you, carry away your pot, your basins, empty them into the sea, serve you with alcoholic drink, your food, your water, because there's no washroom up here. The dungeon itself has everything, where the soldiers, the governors, they use the basins, they use the pot.
Yeah.
floor. These are marble stones. So the wood is original. This is also marbles as they used them. Now the rest of the soldiers were here. So this was the garrison or the barracks, 2 in a room. Now the center one was the kitchen where they prepared food to serve enslaved Africans, soldiers, gamblers. When British left Cape Coast to Accra, 1877, that was the time that they transferred the capital from here to Accra, where this place was converted by Ghanaians as prison yard till 1993.
Yes.
So officers, let's enter this very one. So this very office was used by Captain George McLean. He was the administrator and he was appointed as a judicial assessor from 1843 downwards, where he converted this place as a first court of justice before he died, 1847.
Okay.
So this was the court at the time. It was established by Captain George McLean.
Okay.
So we go to the market. Let's move on to Palava Hall.
You said the market?
Yes, the slave market.
Okay. Where they
That's
sold.
the-
Where they sold.
Yes, that's where they were sold.
Yeah.
So what I explained earlier, Palava. So this is Palava Hall, the unction block. This was, let's enter please. So this was the slave market. It was just like any other African market, where as you enter, you see items all over. The same thing applies to our people, that they will line them up one by one, and they will do what is called re-examination. If they look at you, you are not strong enough, they will just move you here as a domestic slave. And those that were strong were into the dungeons as commercial slaves. They have special people to do that. And this is the place that they move them into the dungeon. It is now a conference room. Whatever you see here, they are all modern, they are all new, but the space is still the same.
The flooring would have changed as well.
Everything has been changed, but the space like this,
The width
from
and
that
length,
wall
yeah,
is
same.
the same.
Okay, and the further windows are the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Because when the capital was transferred, when British left Cape Coast to Accra, this place was abandoned for a very long time.
Okay.
Before it was reopened in 1974 to public, where they do the restoring and what have you up to the stage.
Okay.
I believe you remember the tunnel where the people were led. So this is that connect, be careful please, to the door of no return. So the slaves entered from the dungeon in chains, and this is a place that they station a guide here. The guide will call them: 1, move; 2, continue; 3, follow; 5, to the last person. So here there's no staircase. Because there's no way in here, there's no way out. It's a continuation of the underground tunnel. This is 18 feet.
18
As
feet.
we are here, we agree that you are not in chains. So you can walk the way that you want to walk. You can do whatever you want to walk. But with them, it wasn't like that. Everything controlled by the chains. They were crying and screaming. You were asked by someone to move. Because you don't want to face any abuse, you comply. But you don't know where you are going, what will happen to you. So the same thing applies to the people, that they suffered without knowing what will happen to them, where they were going, this and that. So this is the walkway in chains, continuation of it, 18 feet. And let's see the exit of that underground passage. So this place has been sealed. But this was the exit of the tunnel.
Okay.
So with the slaves, they entered from where the shrine is. They walked through the tunnel, they were checked at the middle. This is where they came out selling chains, and they marched them down to the door of no return. So the same year, 1834, as I said there, this was sealed. It was sealed to signify the end of slave trade and slavery. So outside this way, still in chains, but you walk down to the final exit, popularly known as door of no return. Now let's get closer. So mothers that were fighting for their right, they were also punished but not condemned. The ladies that were selected that you are beautiful, you are nice, and I want to have an affair with you, and you say no, you are also punished. It tells you that they did not see the punishment, the dungeon as the punishment place, but they went ahead to create one as condemned cell and this as the punishment cell. There was a door here which was later removed. I must say that everywhere at the time stinks, especially this, because the sweat saliva from the male dungeon enters the sea through here. So this is the sweat saliva vomit from the male dungeon enters the sea through the side. A small opening which doesn't have an amount, but depends. So if you one person, two or more. This side, once you change your mind, once you accept, you come out of this place, because they were fed either once or twice through the hole as you see there. So this is for food, water. It was also for light and ventilation. The female slave dungeons. So to avoid sexual intercourse, to avoid reproduction, the men were far off, their wives, sisters were here. So these two sections designed for 300 to 500 at a time. A step down, let's see here, one step, they are all the same, but let's see this, one step down, one step down. So if I off the light, as we did with the first one, it tells you that the dungeon, total darkness, in that your sister is here, your daughter, you don't see the person, because the place is very dark. To the extent that if you are stepping on anything, you will not see, because the place is very dark. The dungeon serves as where they have their menstruation. This is where they defecated, urinated. This is where they will be for 2 to 3 months. Those that survived were strong. Those that did not survive were weak. But if you died into the ocean, if you survived, they were chained together. So the sisters and brothers, they came out there to the final exit, the door of no return. A mother will be here crying because a mother decided to go for a walk where a mother did not return. The family, they don't know the whereabouts of the person. A raider, a kidnapper brought the person into the dungeons. So family that were here, talk of sister, brother, husband, wife, they will see themselves in mud since they were brought to the castle over here. So this is the final exit, a very emotional door. A door that at the time nobody came back. It was called the door of no return because once you stepped out, that is the end, where you lost contact with your family, your language, your name, your culture, everything about you. Either to New York, Jamaica, Barbados, wherever they have the plantations. This door, as you see here currently, it wasn't like this. The original door was very narrow, very small. But perchance you go to the first castle over there, they still have the same small original door. But this was enlarged later. So outside the door of no return, let's see what is there. So a very big fishing community. It wasn't like this.
Okay.
Because it was the enclave of the white. They named this beach as White Man Beach.
White Man Beach?
Yes.
Okay.
Community then was very small, about 15, 20 houses, which were far off from here. Which means that as they were departing, crying and screaming, nobody will see, nobody will hear. The ship was anchored way there, where a small boat similar like the canoes. That one will come close. They pack them into that first, paddle it, and then rearrange them into the ship over there. In the ship, they pack them close, either like this or like that. Your leg will face this way, my head will come here. So they pack them like that. So this is where they lost for good. Now, for officer coming out to park or to see, officer doesn't want to suppress himself. Officer doesn't want to bar. So they will use a staircase for their going and coming in, where the slaves will use the door of no return. For the fishing community, they have set a day aside to rest, to mend the net, to do this and that. So over here it's Tuesday. So every Tuesday is a holiday for the fisher folks around this place.
Okay.
But behind the same door, it is no more the door of no return. It is now the door of return. A ceremony has come to stay. We call that emancipation. So the first emancipation was 1998, where two caskets, one from Jamaica, the skeletal remains of Madame Crystal, she fought against racism. The other one from New York, the skeletal remains, of an army officer, Samuel Carlson. They were brought back with the family by air to Accra.
Okay.
Accra, they came all the way to Port Amsterdam and Banzi. Over there, they stopped. They did not use the road to the castle. They decided that as we are going, we want to break the chain of no return. So we go to the castle the same way as we went to the New World. So with canoes from Port Amsterdam and Banzi through Cape Coast Castle. This is where they perform rituals, where they perform libation. It's a way of welcoming the remains and the family back home. So after the ceremony here, they were reburied at Asinamanso, the same village where they had a last bath before they brought them here. So emotionally, symbolically, it is no more the door of no return. It is now door of return. To welcome descendant back home, not necessarily coming through the same door. As the gateway to Africa, gateway to their motherland, it is the door of return. So every first August emancipation, it is a great homecoming. So the door is now like this, because as we went out there, we are not in chains, which means that we are not slaves. Though our people suffered, it was physical torture, mental, and a whole lot. And today we are back home. So we are back. We are not entering the dungeon to suffer the same brutalities, but we are going out to share the same message that as we came here, the dungeons are empty, which means that slave trade is no more. But slavery, as you are aware, is going on in different forms. So whatever happened as we are standing here, we cannot reverse it. But you can try to live in peace with everyone. You can try that whatever happened then, we are not going to repeat the same thing. So a nice structure with a very sad story. And as Marcus Garvey said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Different colors, but we are one people. So let's see ourselves as such.
Agree.
And my brother, this is where we end our guided soul. Thank you very much for coming, and I wish you safe journey to your destination.
Thank you very much. You could let me know your name again?
I am Matilda. So Matilda is your guide of Cape Coast Castle.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. So that is Akwaba. I believe you have come across that. Akwaba means welcome. It was also not there because they did not welcome that. But the sign Akwaba here is to welcome Obamas, and since then the same Akwaba to welcome everyone. So that is what you see there, Akwaba. So you are welcome.
Thank you very much. Really welcome.
In the comments section, tell us where in the world you are watching from. We would also like to hear your thoughts about the content of this video. Our next episode will feature a tour of Cape Town, one of 3 capitals of South Africa. Remember to share, like, comment and subscribe. Click the bell icon to receive future uploads. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.